If you're spending more energy on your job than on improving yourself, you're holding yourself back. If each day you're just getting up, going through your routine, and not making time to develop your skills or grow your mindset, you're missing important opportunities. Jobs can be replaced, money can be earned again. But time? Time is limited. And in that limited time, the person who invests in learning, tries new things, and builds meaningful connections will be the one who makes real progress. It's that simple. So every day, take a moment to write down one clear action you'll take to grow personally. This video carries an important message. At some point, many of us have felt like we're capable of doing more, but haven't taken steps to make it happen. That changes now. 2024 is behind us. It's part of the past. The coming year is about growth, about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about meeting challenges head-on, taking initiative, and reaching your full potential. To help with that, I follow 10 personal rules. These are the same principles I recently shared with my team. They've helped me become more effective in my work, and I think being truly valuable in what we do is worth aiming for. These lessons didn't come from one source. They come from books, mentors, experience, and conversations with high performers. An average mindset and routine? That's in the past. This year is about focus, clarity, and making full use of the potential you already have. These 10 rules are designed to guide you forward and help you aim higher. So grab a pen and notebook. As we go through each rule, write down the key takeaways. My team does this, and so do I. It's made a clear difference. Let's get started, and when we're done, I'd like to hear your thoughts. These are the 10 principles I follow to become irreplaceable in any field. Many of these come from individuals who perform at the highest level, the top 0.01%. Rule number 1, it will never stop. This mindset has had a big effect on how I think and grow. When I say it will never stop, I mean the process of effort, learning, and progress never truly ends. A lot of people believe their current work is only temporary. They think, I'll just do this job until I earn enough money. Then I'll start something meaningful. That's when real life begins. Sound familiar? Many think this way, working just until they feel stable, planning to enjoy life later. But that approach often delays real growth. The truth is, there's no perfect moment when everything begins. Life is built step by step. Progress comes from steady improvement, not from waiting for ideal conditions. Have you ever said to yourself, I'm just doing this until things settle down? If that sounds like you, you're not alone. But here's the mindset shift you need. The work doesn't end. The challenges, the learning, the drive, they continue. The idea that things will get easier after I reach a goal is often an illusion. Here's the reality. We become who we are based on what we do regularly. Our actions shape our lives, not future plans. So if today you're thinking, I'll stop doing this once I reach X, just know something else will come up. That's why I see life as an ongoing journey, not something with a final stage. The issue is people who expect things to stop eventually struggle on hard days. They let how they feel dictate what they do. When they're not motivated, they pull back. When they're discouraged, they stop. But when you accept that this is a constant journey, your attitude shifts. You stop seeing it as a phase, and you begin to show up with real purpose every day. So ask yourself, are you waiting to live fully, expecting the right time to show up later? If so, there's a good chance you're using delay as a form of excuse. And those excuses, whether it's family, time, or money, often aren't the true cause. If something matters to you, you'll find a way to make it work. The people who make an impact didn't wait for the perfect situation. They didn't wait for permission or a perfect bank balance. They started when they could. So here's what to do. Write down one thing you've told yourself you'll do someday. Maybe after retirement or when you finally have more time, money, or freedom. It might be learning something new, traveling, starting a business, or just having more fun. Whatever it is, if you've been putting it off, write it down and begin. Even if it's challenging, even if progress is slow. What matters is that you start. Because if you don't, the only thing you're really losing is time. That one task I do each day, it gives me direction. Without it, I feel off, disconnected, unmotivated, uncertain about what I'm contributing. I start questioning myself. But when I focus on something meaningful, something that aligns with my values, it grounds me. Now, some of you might not have discovered that one thing yet, the work or activity that gives you a real sense of purpose. And that's completely fine. If that's the case, start with what you enjoy the most right now. Commit to it fully. Approach it as something that's part of a longer journey, not just a short-term role. When you adopt this mindset, you'll naturally begin to stand out, because most people are only focused on quick rewards. They're playing short-term games. But those who commit to the long game, who treat their work like a lifelong mission, are the ones who truly succeed over time. Personally, I feel confident in what I do. I know I'm in this for the long haul. This isn't just a job to me, it's driven by purpose. I enjoy helping people shift their mindset so they can think bigger and achieve more. That's what I want to continue doing. Because I care about it, I show up with more energy and consistency. Others may be doing the same work, but if they treat it like just another task, they won't be able to sustain it. Even when things get tough, I still feel motivated to keep going. That's the difference. When someone lacks real interest in their work, even a small setback can lead to burnout. But if you truly enjoy what you do, you keep moving forward. That's how you stay ahead. So ask yourself this. What's the one activity or area of your life you'd continue doing no matter what? The thing that would still drive you when others slow down? That's your advantage. That wraps up mindset rule number 1. Now, let's move to rule number 2, don't get hurt. This one took me a long time to fully understand, but it's one of the most important. Anyone who can develop this becomes more resilient, and resilience is a big part of becoming irreplaceable. Here's what I mean. In both life and work, we often have expectations. We expect to feel valued, noticed, or successful. But when that doesn't happen, we sometimes feel hurt. Maybe we missed out on a chance. Maybe feedback felt unfair. These situations slowly wear down our confidence. But becoming emotionally affected too easily makes us weaker. It causes us to pull back. And when you hold in your thoughts or feelings, your creativity takes a hit. You start sharing less. You take fewer chances. And over time, you lose what makes your work unique. That's when you risk becoming replaceable. Instead, build emotional strength. Train yourself to not take things too personally. When you can stay calm and focused even during setbacks, you gain mental clarity. That clarity is what keeps you moving forward. And that's what makes you truly hard to replace. If you really want to grow and become irreplaceable, you need to stop letting emotions control your reactions. Start by identifying the one situation or issue that affects you most. Think clearly. What's the one thing that really throws you off? Once you identify it, make a decision. From this moment on, commit to not letting that one issue affect you emotionally. It's okay if other things still bother you. That's part of being human. But for the next year, focus on this one area. Decide that no matter where it happens, at work, at home, or in any other setting, it will no longer have power over you. Write it down and stay committed to that choice. Rule number 3. Live as if your parents are no longer here. Now, before you react, understand the purpose of this rule. This idea isn't about disrespect, it's about mental independence. Of course, we should love and respect our parents, but at the same time, we need to recognize the expectations and judgments they might carry, even unintentionally. Often, without realizing it, we shape our lives around trying to meet those expectations, and that can quietly limit our choices. Let's try a quick exercise. Take a moment and write down the top 3 expectations your parents have for you. These could be things like staying close to home, achieving a certain financial goal, or marrying someone they approve of. Next, think of 3 repeated criticisms your parents have shared, maybe about your habits, goals, or lifestyle. These might not have been said with bad intentions, but if repeated over time, they stick with us. Now ask yourself this. If fear, limits, or judgment, especially from your parents, weren't factors, what's one thing you'd finally do? It could be something small or something major. Maybe it's changing how you express yourself, switching careers, or finally diving into a personal passion. If nothing comes to mind, that's fine. But if something does, try doing it, quietly and without explanation. Just observe how it feels. The only rule: make sure it supports your personal growth and is a step forward. Rule number 4. Understand your slight edge. Ask yourself, what is your unique edge? What sets you apart from others? Be honest. Don't exaggerate or try to impress others with something you don't fully own. Let's talk specifics. Are you earning what your skill level truly deserves? Are you operating at the same level as the top 1% in your field? For example, if you're a content strategist, are your results and income aligned with the best in that space? If not, take a moment and write down what's holding you back. What are the real obstacles keeping you from that top tier? Getting clear on this will help you make meaningful progress. Take video editing, for instance, a field many are in. Ask yourself, are you one of the best editors at your current company? If yes, that's your baseline. Then level up the question. Are you among the top 1% of podcast video editors? If yes, go further. How do you rank among social media editors? Keep pushing through these levels. Are you in the top 1% in your city, your country, worldwide? Each of these is a circle. Your job is to identify where you are and then focus on reaching the next one. And with each step, ask yourself, what's in your way? Now, jot down 3 personal limitations you believe are keeping you from leveling up. Those 3 things? That's your edge. Knowing them gives you clarity, and clarity gives you direction. Here's the truth. The most valuable people aren't flawless. They're the ones who know where they stand, understand their limits, and are actively working to improve. That kind of self-awareness is rare and powerful. The problem is, most people don't know their edge. Some overestimate themselves and live in an illusion. Others don't see their potential at all and stay stuck. You don't want to be in either group. If you're unsure of your edge, start writing. Think about your work, your relationships, your mindset. Ask yourself, why do people turn to you? If the answer is that you're reliable or handle routine tasks well, that's not enough. Real value comes from doing things others can't easily replicate. If your work is easily replaceable, so are you. So the key question is, are you someone people can't imagine replacing? Here's the reality. If you're not working toward becoming that kind of person, you'll always feel a bit vulnerable. If you're freelancing, a competitor could take your clients. In a job, someone else might do it cheaper or faster. That uncertainty only fades when you build a strong, undeniable edge. Rule number 5, track your day. Start to finish, write out a rough schedule of your daily routine. No need to go overboard. Just cover key activities like waking up, reading, working, exercising, etc. Now highlight which of those activities are actually helping you grow, things that sharpen your focus, lift your energy, or move you closer to your top 1% goal. How many of those do you have? If you can count more than 5, you're headed in the right direction. If you can find at least 3, you've got a solid base. But if it's a struggle to find any, here's your real issue. You don't have blinders on. People who achieve extraordinary results have long stretches of focused effort. That kind of focus isn't accidental. It's built through intentional blinders. These are mental and physical boundaries that block out distractions. So how do you create blinders? It starts with your environment. Your surroundings, who you spend time with, your daily routines, your workspace, they either help you concentrate or constantly pull you away. Let me give you a personal example. There was a time I made a decision I knew wasn't right, just to keep someone else happy. When things went wrong, I blamed myself. That's what people-pleasing costs you. Rule number 6, stop making choices just to please others. Whether it's your partner, boss, parents, friends, or clients, never make decisions just to make others happy. Doing that chips away at your confidence. Now, if someone gives you feedback that genuinely shifts your thinking and you agree with it, that's valuable. Taking action from a place of clarity is powerful. But if deep down you know something doesn't feel right and you still go along with it just to avoid discomfort, that's where the problem begins. Each time you do this, you're reinforcing a pattern of avoidance. You're telling your mind that it's better to stay passive than to take ownership. And the truth is, if you don't trust your own decisions, others won't either. People can sense that uncertainty. Ask yourself, who do you respect more? Someone who hesitates and constantly seeks validation, or someone who stands by their choices and accepts the outcome even when it's not perfect? If you're in the habit of making choices just to win approval, land opportunities, or avoid confrontation, you're not only compromising your decisions, you're also weakening your edge. I've been in that place. I've said yes when I meant no. I've gone along with things I didn't believe in. And the biggest regret wasn't that they failed, it was that I knew better and still ignored my instincts. Eventually, this disconnect becomes hard to ignore. You begin to feel disconnected from your goals. You feel limited, unsure, and like you're living by someone else's script. Here's what you can do. Pick one decision you've made or avoided just to keep others comfortable. Be real with yourself. Would you make that same choice if no one else's opinion mattered? If the answer is no, revisit it. Start building that internal trust again. Because leadership, growth, and long-term success all come from believing in your own judgment. Yes, you might fail, but it would be your decision. And from that, you'd learn, you'd grow, you'd improve. That's how confidence is built. So from this point on, avoid decisions that come from a need to please. Prioritize alignment over approval. Rule number 7, your purpose must come before pleasing the world. Here's what I mean by that. How many times have you sacrificed your work, your purpose, or the thing that energizes you just to spend time with others? You tell yourself, I need to be there for my partner, or my family needs me right now. And yes, relationships matter. But here's what often happens. You pause your work to be with them, but your mind stays on your goals. You're not fully present there, or here. That split focus means you're not showing up properly in either space. And here's the effect. It starts to dull your ambition. You water down your drive just to feel balanced, even though deep down you know you're not fully aligned. Many people talk about big goals, changing lives, building impact, leaving a legacy. But when it's time to show up consistently, they blame lack of discipline on their relationships. I didn't follow through because I had family responsibilities, or I had to prioritize my partner, but that's not fair. Not to yourself, not to your goals, and not even to the people you care about. When you choose comfort or excuses over purpose, you're doing a disservice to your potential, your ambitions, and your relationships. Because when you don't show up as your best self, the people around you don't benefit from your full value. Now ask yourself, if you truly committed to your purpose, would your parents have a better life? Yes. Would your partner benefit from your growth? Absolutely. When you live in alignment with what drives you, everyone in your life gains from that energy. You operate with more clarity, more generosity, and more confidence. That's why your purpose needs to come first, not as a rejection of others, but as a commitment to giving them the best version of you. Personally, mentally, emotionally, and financially, you'll feel more stable and fulfilled when you prioritize your purpose. But often the real reason you don't take that step is a lack of discipline. And that lack becomes an excuse. Most of the time, that excuse is tied to a relationship. How many times have you told yourself, I couldn't focus because I had to make time for someone else? Maybe it's skipping out on your goals because you chose to meet friends instead, or staying in a comfort zone because of a partner's expectations. We've all done it at some point. It's time to stop. Starting now, stop using relationships as a reason for putting your purpose on hold. When you commit to this mindset shift, something powerful happens. You actually start enjoying what you do. And when that joy kicks in, you naturally enter a high-performance zone. Rule number 8. Surround yourself with people who challenge your mediocrity. Everyone should follow this one. If you don't already have someone like this in your life, make it your task to find them this week. Start with a colleague, a cousin, a family member, or even a stranger if needed. Sit down with them weekly for 10 to 30 minutes. During this time, openly share your goals and the reasons you think you haven't achieved them. Talk about the barriers and excuses you've been using. Let them call those excuses out. Make it a two-way street. You call out their excuses too. For example, if two of you are doing this together, ask each other, why didn't you make progress this week? And when one of you starts sounding average, let the other challenge it, gently but honestly. And here's the key. Don't get defensive. Too often people ask for feedback but get offended when it comes. Instead, enjoy the challenge. Be open to hearing where you're falling short. Now, while it's fine to choose a friend or partner, it's better if you pick someone outside your closest emotional circle. Why? Because in emotionally intense relationships, especially new ones, feedback can turn into conflict. You don't want constructive advice turning into an argument mid-disagreement, so unless you and your partner are at a very mature stage in your relationship, find a different person, a colleague, a mentor, or a peer. Someone who can hold you accountable and call out your excuses without emotional complications. Rule number 9. Are you too caught up in daily tasks? If your answer is yes, take a step back. Here's a quote I love from Jim Rohn. If you're working harder on your job than on yourself, you're going nowhere. If your entire day is consumed with tasks, but there's no time to develop your skills or improve your mindset, that's a red flag. Yes, your job might be demanding. Yes, you'll keep making money, but time is your most limited resource. The people who go the furthest in life aren't just busy, they're intentional. They use their time to learn more, test ideas, and build networks that support their growth. So here's your daily habit. Write down one thing you'll do each day that helps you grow personally. Just one, and follow through. Rule number 10. The all-in mindset. When you go all in, you commit completely. There's no backup plan, no hesitation, no second guessing. If you choose to do something, give it your full energy, focus, and heart. And if that's not possible, if your heart isn't in it, then maybe it's time to choose a different path. Going all in for even 1 month is far more powerful than dragging something along for a year without that level of dedication. This applies to everything: your career, your health, your relationships, and your personal goals. If your aim is to reach the top 1%, the elite level where you decide what you work on, who you work with, and how your life looks, then going all in isn't optional, it's necessary. Yes, this approach comes with risk, but it also brings the highest possible reward. The top 1% don't focus on what could go wrong, they focus on what's possible if they give it everything. So if you're not enjoying what you do right now, have the courage to change direction. But if you are enjoying it, if this is something you want to master, then lean in fully. Go after it with the same energy you'd show when you're already succeeding. Because how you do one thing reflects how you do everything. You can't go halfway. There's no such thing as being almost committed. It's like being half pregnant. It just doesn't exist. You're either in or you're not. So go all in. That's the most important rule of all. These are my 10 rules for becoming irreplaceable in 2025. Write them down, reflect on them, and apply them to your life as much and as consistently as possible. The more seriously you take these, the faster you'll grow and the more value you'll create, both for yourself and those around you. Thank you for listening. Let's go.